Hey budgeters, welcome back. As you guys can see, I am 35 weeks pregnant and we are standing in the nursery. And this was the same location of our virtual shower that we just had this past weekend. Unfortunately, due to C-19, we were unable to have a real shower like I had always thought I would have when I was having my first child, but unfortunately that memory was thrown out the window. But we didn't just have no memory at all. We do have the live virtual shower, which we received so much unsolicited feedback about how great of an event it was. And so because it seems to have gone very smoothly, I wanted to share with you guys how to host a virtual shower as well. So this could be for a baby shower or a bridal shower. It did not cost a lot of money to throw together, so that fits with beating the budget. So stay tuned. We're gonna go over game ideas, how to decorate, and how to plan in advance to make your virtual shower a success. All right, so getting started with the planning, the first thing you're gonna have to do is pick a platform. Meaning, are you gonna use Zoom? Are you gonna use Facebook? Are you going to use FaceTime if it's a smaller group? You have a lot of options out there. Google Meets. For us, we decided to use Facebook because not only did we have the ability to go live when we wanted to, but we could post things in advance, such as pictures of us when we were younger and babies. And we were able to put a picture of the sonogram up there. And we were also able to post some games and a link to an outside game. So a private Facebook group seemed to work best for us, but there are other options and platforms out there for you to pick from as well. All right, next you're gonna want to announce it or invite people. So if you're doing a private Facebook group, obviously that will be the announcement. But for us, we already had a regular shower plan, so people already did receive invitations. So, for you, if you're just doing this from scratch, what I do recommend though is on your announcement that you have kind of like a theme already there, whether it's a color theme, an animal. We did whales nautical theme. And so instead of just typing it out on Facebook, if you make it like a little bit of an image so people kind of get the gist of the style you're going for, that would be great for your announcement. And what I highly recommend is to have your announcement or the theme match whatever decor you're going to use in the nursery, because people will get on board with the theme and they will get you themed items, and then where are you going to put them? So ideally you'll put them in your nursery. I also highly recommend that you make this announcement 3 weeks in advance of your shower, because Amazon and other stores such as buybuy BABY do have a delay with their shipping right now. So although I know Amazon was really good with shipping out within a few days, there were some items that took up to 3 weeks to get to us. So consider that as well when you're planning a date. Next, you're gonna need a location to film in. For us, we chose the nursery because this is kind of an untouched area that we wouldn't need to use for a little while, and we were able to decorate in advance. But you're gonna want to think about that. You're gonna wanna think about lighting, weather, and overall, like, is there enough light, which I already just said. Next, you're gonna need multiple devices for this to work smoothly. Sure, can you just use your phone and just go live? Yes. But to make it more smooth, what you might want to consider is having multiple devices for different jobs. So we used one phone as the recording the live phone. We had another phone that was logged into the same Facebook, so we could read the comments and comment and respond to people. And then we also had another device, my computer, that was off to the side that was playing a YouTube music stream, which we'll go over a little bit. Well, we can go over now. We did just like jazz coffee style house coffee house style music, and that was like good background noise, so it wasn't just like breathing or anything else like that. It annoyed me a little bit in person, but when I went back and listened to the live, it was a nice touch. So consider having some background music. You could have instrumental lullabies. I think instrumental is the key though. Another thing you're probably going to need is a tripod. You can get these cheaply on Amazon. I will link one below, and you might want to also consider some lighting if your area in the house is dark or the time of day that you're able to do it at is darker. Consider having some more light sources so that your guests' experience can be good and they can see the gifts quite well. And in order to stay organized, I don't know what I would do without my Google Keep. I've talked about this several times. I use it for budgeting, grocery lists. I use it just to keep myself sane and organized as best as I can. But I use Google Keep for a few things. So I use Google Keep to organize my shower outline, and that's why it was important to have my phone accessible and have a separate phone recording. So I had access to the things on my phone that I needed, such as my shower outline. And what that consisted of was just things I wanted to make sure that I went over throughout the shower to kind of keep the flow going and to also make sure that I didn't miss saying anything. And we'll talk about things you can talk about during your shower towards the end of my video. So I use Google Keep for that. I use Google Keep also to keep track of the gifts that people sent in advance. So a lot of the time it was just a box from Amazon or Target, and so I would just write it down in my phone because I already knew what it was. And the other thing I kept track of on Google Keep was for the diaper raffle that we had. This did require a little bit of peeking sometimes because if a gift was wrapped, I kind of had to think to myself, can there be diapers in there? And if, I would just kind of like look around. I really didn't take out everything, but I did like peek so that this way during the live when I did the diaper raffle, everything was smooth and I didn't have to write people's names down and hold up my audience more. Everything was already done, and I'll show you how I did the diaper raffle later on in the video. So another little tip is when you receive the gifts from boxes, don't keep the boxes because the boxes tend to have a lot of space and they're just not as good to look at on camera. So if you have extra bags around your house, paper bags or those large plastic tote bags, they make a great way to keep everything organized so that your fiance, husband, partner, whatever, they can grab it for you and hand it to you, and everything from that person is just in that one container. So you'll see it's nothing fancy. It's just a regular bag with a gift inside. And I also kept the gift receipts with it, so that kind of acted as the card. And last thing for staying organized and making the whole thing a success and for planning is it was extremely important to have my fiance helping me out. He was on camera. Even though we used a tripod, he actually decided to start like coming in with the camera and getting different angles, and that was really helpful because being pregnant, it's hard to bend certain ways. It's hard, you don't want to overexert yourself and lift certain things, so he was able to move around with the camera as well. It was also helpful. He would bring me a gift and he would pick up the wrapping paper and put it to the side, and it was just really important to have another person there to help it go smoothly. So if you are single, consider asking a family or friend that's been quarantining for a couple of weeks if they wouldn't mind helping you out, because I do think that that was an important element to help things go very smoothly. All right, so next up we're talking something very fun, which is decorations. And I have to say, I think that this background is so cute, especially when it had all the gifts and everything. It came out really well. but it wasn't that hard and it wasn't very expensive either. So first of all, it's like I said before, it's very important to have a theme so that you kind of know what you're going for when you create your backdrop for your video. As you guys can see, we did whales or nautical theme. So we used some gifts that we received as some of the decoration. So for example, the baby's Nonina made this beautiful diaper cake, and it has lights and the crabs and the whales and just all of this. So we put this front and center because how could you not? It's gorgeous. Additionally, another gift that we received that was just so pretty was this onesie bouquet, and I think it has some washcloths as well. And any other pretty gifts that you receive, you could put in your display as well. Next, use what you have. So this chair was actually a hand-me-down. It was brown wood, and the seat was all stained. And I knew what I was getting into when I agreed to receive this chair, which, by the way, it is so comfortable, and I am so glad that I agreed to get this chair instead of spending like $300 on another one. So I cleaned off this chair using some rubbing alcohol and Dawn dish soap, and that worked extremely well. Then I removed the fabric cloth, and I didn't take it outside, but I had this chair brought outside. Had this chair brought outside by my fiance, and I spray painted it white. It still needs like more of a coat because I ran out of spray paint, and we're on quarantine, so couldn't quite finish it, but I did the important part, so you could never tell that this was a brown chair. So I used what I had here. Additionally, I hope you guys can see it, but down here, this is the ottoman. You see how it's rocking? And this is still brown. I didn't get to paint that yet. And I just covered it with stuff I already had. So I already had this fabric for the original baby shower. So I reused it here. And other things I had for the baby shower that I got for Amazon was this baby block tower with the balloons. This is such a cute touch. I like it because it's tall. And I'll link this in the comments. Additionally, I got this Ahoy It's a Boy banner from Amazon. Again, I have them in advance. I don't know if I would have bought them if I wasn't having an in-person shower, but seeing the effect that they had in my backdrop here, I absolutely love them, and I thought it was well worth it because I couldn't return it anyway. And then the last piece is just lighting. So my whole backdrop, I have a video, I'll link that in the comments as well. This curtain with the twinkle lights in the back, I think that really brings everything together. And then there are other lighting elements as well, such as this sailboat, which also actually was a gift. And we have this nice lighthouse, which also was another gift. So we're really appreciative of the gifts. But other than those things, we also had our own decor. Like we had anchors and a whale art and things like that that we could have put out as well. But we wanted to kind of showcase the gifts. So use what you have. Oh, and I don't think I said, we had this table also. It was up in the attic. It was being used for nothing, and it was just the perfect size. So again, use what you have, repurpose what you have, use things you're going to use already in the nursery, and maximize people's generosity and their beautifully wrapped gifts, because when you put it all together, it's going to look so good, especially if you have a theme. When you are decorating, you're going to want to make sure that you're constantly referring to your camera on video mode so that you are seeing what will actually be in camera as opposed to just what your eye thinks will be on camera. You're going to want to keep checking that out in the correct video lens or format. And you're also going to want to make a decision, are you going to go live horizontally or are you going to go live portrait mode? I recommend horizontally because then if family members are watching together, they will have a better view on a shared laptop or even a TV. I know that my immediate family watched on a TV. So horizontal would be the best way for that. So keep that in mind and test that out constantly from your camera video lens. Next up, games. So at every baby shower, you play games pretty much. So at our shower, it was a little tricky because it was online. So a lot of the games were kind of guessing games. So the first game that we played was guess the amount of Hershey Kisses that were in the fish bowl. And my mom and brother set this up because my mom was going to do this anyway. They created a little video showing all the Hershey Kisses that were in the fishbowl. Again, fishbowl for the theme of nautical. And at the bottom of the Hershey Kisses, she had little whale stickers too, again, just to add to the theme. But that part isn't necessary. You could really just also post a picture of the Hershey Kisses in a dish and have people guess how many Hershey Kisses are in the dish that way. But the video was a nice touch because they had the capability to create a video like that to show different angles and things just to help with the guessing a little bit. Next, we played the game How Big Is My Belly? Some people didn't like playing this game though, I have to say, because I think they felt uncomfortable with guessing my size. They didn't want to offend me or have me feel any type of way. But I put in the comments that I really didn't care. The way I view my stomach and my size right now is this is the baby's home and he can take up as many inches as he needs to, and I'm not going to be ashamed by how big I look because I am blessed with the opportunity to be carrying our son. So I just clarified that in the comments. I mean, people still participated, but there were some people that didn't like it. And we said the first person to guess closest without going over was a winner. Same for the Hershey Kisses one. And the last game that we played was a guessing game that I made through Google Forms. It was a him, her, or both quiz. And I will link where I got the questions down below. But essentially, it was questions like, who will change the most diapers, him, her, or both? Who will want to go on a date night soonest without baby, him, her, or both? And the top scorer received a prize. Well, they didn't receive the prizes yet. All the prizes are going to be given out when we can socialize again, or we'll at least just go and do a porch drop off for people. I had one more idea for a game, which was guess how much combined weight mom and dad were when they were babies. Like how much did mom and dad weigh at birth? So we didn't end up doing that one, but that could be something that you can play as well. A couple of things. Make sure that you post these games like a week leading up to the shower because it gets people engaged and it reminds them, hey, the shower's coming up this weekend. Also, make sure you put deadlines that are reasonable for you to do any calculations that you need to do so that when it comes time for the live shower, you already know who the winners are and you can announce them. And I will show you the diaper raffle bin because this is a little bit of a pathetic diaper raffle thing. I bought it in advance when I thought we were having a shower in person and I thought more people would participate, but it was a very difficult, one, to get your hands on diapers during all of this craziness, and two, people were just shipping things and they were generous as it was. So anyway, it's just a light little coating at the bottom here. And actually some of the names are off to the side because those were the winners. But in advance, I already had the diaper raffle names in here, and then on live, I just grabbed this and I picked out the name and I announced who the winner was. So have a little container and have the names already in it because again, it helps things go way more smoothly. All right, so the big day is here, and this is what I did with my Google Keep. I just had an outline of things that I wanted to make sure that I got done during the live. So I want to share some of those ideas with you guys. So first, when you first go live, stay behind the camera, check out the location, and ask your audience as they start logging in. Ask them, hey guys, let me know how's the lighting, how's the volume, can you hear me? And then also ask them to start by just writing something in the comments. So say, hey, if you're watching with somebody, leave it in the comments of who you're watching with. And then this way it already starts with some of the engagement, and then you know who your audience actually is consisting of. Next, as you open the gifts, I think it was important that I was explaining what the gifts were for. One, because my fiance didn't have a clue about most of the items. And two, it was helpful maybe for people to know like why I got 3 things of something. So for example, we received like 3 different types of bottles, and I believe they were all ones that I registered for. So I wanted to explain to the guests, yeah, we registered for multiple bottles because I read online, you just don't know what bottle your baby is going to take, so it's nice to have a variety. So any kind of commentary on why you asked for it, what your purpose was, where you'll use it in the house, anything like that is helpful to keep the live going smooth so there's not a lot of downtime. Next, as you're opening, you can explain who each person is, because remember, people can't see who it is. They can't raise their hand, oh, it's for me. And then people say, oh, okay, I know who that is. They can't do that during a live virtual shower. So instead, I would say, oh, it's your cousin so-and-so. Or I would say something special like so-and-so is expecting, or oh, thank you so much because I actually just got some hand-me-downs from so-and-so. And so I would just try to explain to people who the gift givers were so that there was a little bit more of a sense of like getting to know you, and people felt maybe a little bit special. At least that was what I was aiming for when I was doing those sorts of things. Also, more things you can ask them to leave in the comments. Here's an idea. So my mom gave me something and it was like washcloths, but they looked awfully large. So I said, Mom, leave in the comments what these are meant for. Or we received 2 different handmade blankets, and I didn't know if it was crocheting or knitting. So I said, oh, these are beautiful. Please leave in the comments if it's crochet or knit, because I'm not sure. Or you can even have some ready to go questions, such as, hey moms, please leave me in the comments what I really need in my hospital bag, or things that I absolutely don't need in my hospital bag to help me out. And people participated and also commented on things like that. While my fiance was removing one gift and bringing me another, I was on my device and I was just reading through the comments and making sure I was trying to stay interactive with my audience. And I think I already said this, but it was extremely helpful to have my fiance come closer with the camera and to really get good angles of all the different types of gifts. So I think all of that was important when we were live. Anything else that we did, we announced the games and the winners at the end. The Him, Her, or Both game, my fiance joined me. He grabbed a chair and joined me, and we went over those answers together to involve him on camera a little bit. We showed a little bit of the closet because there were more gifts inside of there. You could do a nursery tour afterwards. We showcased, you guys can't see it fully, I'll put a picture, but we showcased a clothesline display of clothes from Nanina. So we just kind of went over all those little extra things at the end. In total, our shower was 2 hours long. And I think it was just because people were extremely generous and we just had a lot of gifts. But a lot of people said it didn't feel like 2 hours, which I'm grateful for. I did try to speed through, but not like just speed through to the point where it was rude. So just keep that in mind as well, the timing. But people seemed to think that the 2 hours was good. And I told the audience in advance, if you can't stay tuned for the whole thing, no worries, we're not offended. Just come and go as you can, and do what you need to do. And at the end, we just thanked everyone with a heartfelt thank you. And I cried, of course. But yeah, I think it went really well. Like I said, our guests gave us unsolicited feedback on how good of a time it was, which I was surprised about. And I think that's it. So if I think of anything, I will put the text on the screen or I'll put it in the comments. But don't miss out on your showers. Try your best to make yourself a little memory. It was actually fun. And the benefit is we have the shower recorded live and saved to our private Facebook group. So there's kind of some benefits to having a virtual live shower as well. So hope you guys are doing well throughout all of this. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you've been to a virtual baby shower or you have an idea for a game for one, leave it in the comments below and let us know what ideas that you have, since this is all new territory for all of us, really. Thank you guys for watching. Again, hit the bell and subscribe. I'll see you next time.